beautiful YouTube family. Welcome, greetings, hello. Nice to meet you. If this is your first time catching me live here. Just clearing our space a bit. Gonna give it a few moments to see if any friends want to hop on and join us since this wasn't a scheduled live. I usually don't schedule my lives. I just kind of impromptu. I hop on whenever I feel called or when I feel inspired. Typically, it's after I have just recorded a message for the Patreon community for members only because I still have all my decks, tools, supplies out. So that's where we are right now. I just recorded about a 42-minute message for the Patreon community. Link for that will be in the pinned comments below as well as the description box. Know that when you join the Patreon community, you get access to, yes, my most recent message, but also all of my previous content. So there's like 1,100, 1,200 posts in there. All sorts of messages I've been sharing in there for years. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, you could say hello. You could let us know where you're tuning in from. You could share with us how you're feeling in these energies. Maybe you have something hopeful, insightful, inspirational to share with another here. I just saw 111 on our timer here. Creation energy. When we are fulfilled from within, this emotional mastery, maturity, this is what allows us to create from a fulfilled space, and so therefore creations that will benefit us, our lives, benefit all, that are sustainable, soul nourishing. And just because something is soul nourishing doesn't mean that it's not going to satisfy our human as well. It's just those things that are satisfying on a life-giving level versus a life-depleting level. There are those things available to us in the external that temporarily provide us a high or a relief or a reprieve from ourselves, but there are always repercussions or a long-term retribution from that. Is that the word I'm looking for? Long-term consequences. They maybe don't show up instantly, but just like these good habits, we continue to make and take each day, the compound effect. We see the significance of the small choices made daily over time. So too, whether it's life-giving choices or life-denying choices, they all add up. But all things can be reversed, healed. I am here to share that, if nothing else, that anything is possible when you believe it is, that you can overcome anything, that you can come back from anything. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. If you have something you would like to share with the rest of us, feel free to drop a comment. If you are hoping to receive a specific message, you have a question, something you are wanting to know, you could ask that question. You could make it known energetically. You could also, liking the video and subscribing to the channel are ways to contribute your energy. You're more likely to receive a message for you here if you contribute your energy, if you're part of our wave. Trusting the unknown, being willing to look at those subconscious beliefs. Also, feels like we just came out of that new moon, but we're already approaching, we have a full moon. We begin the 2026 calendar year with a Cancer full moon. And the moon is the, what's the word I'm looking for? The moon is mother. Cancer and the moon are associated. I can't think of the right word at the moment, but so this Cancer full moon energy will be even more amplified because the moon is at home in Cancer. I think that's what I'm looking for. Wow, let's hope words get easier here. So this 5 of Swords energy, we've got that twice. So the headache energy, confusion, which makes so much sense. There's a lot going on in the field, and if you're energy sensitive, you pick up on energy, not just your own, but others. We feel, those of us that are energy sensitive, that have done the healing work, we are more sensitive to our own energy and also the collective energy as well. So it's worth it to take the time for reflection, contemplation, to determine, is this my energy? Is this my battle? Is this my headache? Is this my problem? Or am I carrying something that is for someone else to resolve? Oftentimes, when we feel overwhelmed, it's because we're trying to control a situation, a person, that we have no business trying to control. The only thing we're in control of is ourselves, what we are creating, if we are choosing the new, if we are choosing our higher timeline here. And you can determine if the choice you're making is beneficial for you by, does it make you feel expansive? Does it make you, glow from within? Does it excite you? Or does it make you feel small? Like you want to contract, like you want to, does it feel restrictive? Like it makes you smaller? It's really the only question we need to ask ourselves when we're making any choice. And before you make that choice in the physical, check in with yourself. How does it make you feel? Being intentional with our energy. This is laser focus, being unstoppable as we move forwards into the new here, because we are aware of what is ours to carry, and we have put down that headache energy, the burden of the past. We aren't willing to argue, ego battles. It's not our job to prove what we believe to another. This and that are true. In fact, the other is welcome to believe whatever they want, because that's based on their life experience and their perceptions, right? So we aren't here to tell others how to live, what to believe. That's how we take our power back and our energy, so we have space to create restoration, reciprocity, balance. This is equal give and take. So we have space to pour into the things that are life-giving, that are life-affirming. This Five of Swords energy, this arguing to try and prove your point, to try and be quote-unquote right, that is a waste of our energy. Absolutely. That would be an example of a life-depleting versus a life-giving activity. Balance, because truly it's all about balance. Balance within our inner feminine, our inner masculine, balancing action and the energy work. Balancing what we do in our inner world with the actions we take in the external, being sure we are aligned first, choosing, to turn the other cheek versus get into these arguments, choosing the harmonious response. Again, understanding it's not our job to convince another of anything. And when we put down that burden, that weight, we free up all of this energy to create the new. This is this realization, from Five of Swords to Six of Swords. This is this aha moment, this clarity returning, because we have made the space. We've put down what was never ours to carry, but maybe we needed to at one point to survive. We don't beat ourselves up for ways we behaved in the past. It took that experience to get us here to this new understanding. But now that we do have this new understanding, aha moment, clarity, it's like, oh, victory is mine, because all I have to focus about is what I'm creating and what I'm doing. That's all I'm responsible for. We have 666 here as well. So sixes is all about harmony and balance. Yeah. Coming out of this energy, Nine of Swords, Five of Cups. Again, this is this overthinking. It maybe felt like you were overthinking, but what you were truly doing was healing these old wounds. Five of Cups energy can signify it. We're just stuck, crying over spilled milk, stuck on the past. But actually, why this energy from the past has been coming up is because we're clearing it. We're healing those old wounds. It wasn't to relive it. It maybe felt the same as you were going through it as when you were living it, but it was to clear it, to make space here for these new beginnings, to be able to take this leap of faith with our energy freed up, right? Tying up those energy leaks, calling back all of our soul fragments. So we could start this new, 2026 and moving forward is, the energy is going to be completely different. None of us that are here at this time have experienced this before. And so, we're just finishing up this number 9 year here, the year of the snake. You maybe had much to clear up. It maybe was a really many of us were shifting and changing. It was an uncomfortable year. I have yet to speak to someone that didn't go through significant shifts and changes. But remind yourself it was for your benefit. It was preparation to call back. To call back those pieces of yourself, soul fragments. This is that healing those old wounds, to find these treasures hidden within the darkness, understanding darkness isn't evil or negative. It's just the places that have not yet been illuminated. And that's why we had to see, when these things come up for you that you haven't been able to experience or see about yourself before, It's not because you've done anything wrong. It's because you've done enough healing. You are safe and secure enough within yourself. You're at a higher level that you're able to see these things now without crumbling. So even though it doesn't feel great in the moment, it's truly a sign of your elevation, your ability to be adaptable here. And so applaud yourself for your willingness to feel those uncomfortable things, knowing it provides the clarity to set you free, right? The truth will set you free. It's better to hear, witness an uncomfortable truth than to be consoled with a lie, you know? It allowed us to reconcile the past here, so we have this safe space within ourselves and this fresh understanding, clean slate energy for this next year and, you know, the several years, several decades moving forward. We're truly just getting started. Intention here, and then number 17, 1 and 7 is 8, abundance as well. Yeah, this is also that Knight of Swords energy. We have put down everything that was not ours to carry, this headache, this overburdened energy, this over responsible for others, right? Maybe this martyrism. This is what is allowing us to move forward with intention, only focusing on what we have control over, which is ourself. So I love that. I think that's a beautiful place to leave us. I'm going to get us one affirmation here. I usually leave us with one affirmation in the Patreon message. So we'll do that here for us as well. And if you're wanting a personal reading, some personal guidance, wanting to work with me one-on-one, if you would like access to the Inside Out Living Guide that I created, just drop a comment. Let me know what you're in need of, what you're wanting, and I will reply back. In prayer, I commune with the universe as my dearest friend. Yeah, we are not separate from our source. We can never be disconnected. We can forget our connection, but all it takes is that stillness, that pause, that being intentional to remember again. And I just saw 11:55 here. So, yeah, prayer, silence, nature, stillness. Maybe you don't call it prayer. Maybe you just call it, you know, communion with the divine. Whatever terminology you use, but make the time and space. Get quiet. Move beyond your mind here. If you want to move beyond this headache energy, this confusion, get in your body, because we can't be in the body and the mind at the same time. The way to overcome your overthinking is not to control the mind. It's to return to your body and allow your body to quiet the mind for you. We don't quiet the mind with sheer willpower. We quiet the mind, again, by returning to our body, by returning to our breath, by remembering our breath is the first form of abundance and it's always available. So yes, you could do a body scan. You could do a meditation. Find something to touch, taste, hear, smell, see, anything to get you back in touch with your senses and beyond the mind. I'm sending so much love, wishing you a beautiful week. I probably won't be back until next year. It sounds funny to say, even though that's only like 5 days away, but yes. Until next time, see you soon. Thank you for being here.